Welcome to the PG Alumni Meet of Electronics and Communication Department. This year we are celebrating Golden Jubilee 2022. So I request all PG alumni to take the seats. So we will begin the interaction session very shortly.
Good morning and welcome to this interaction between the PG alumni on one side and the faculty members on the other side. Of course, PG students are also there among us. And for those of you who don't know me, I am Satish Kumar and professor in this department, and right now I am coordinating the DEC program, MTech program. And so I will be moderating, rather anchoring this interaction. And since we are not discussing any controversial topics, I think my role will be minimal. And we'll be discussing topics which are of mutual interest, mutual benefit. So my role will be minimal. And I will just begin with a question to warm up the discussion. So I will throw this question to the alumni. So my question is that when you joined this campus, you can go back to those days. When you joined this campus, you had a lot of dreams, aspirations when you joined here. Now that you have seen the reality, a lot of reality you have seen, so how the reality correlates with your dreams? So I would like to throw this question to you just to warm up the discussion, and your answers will be of help, of use to the PG students that we have right now. So over to you. And let us avoid awkward silences, please.
Hello, everyone. This is Aditya. I was in the microelectronics. Should I come there? I was in the microelectronics. Okay. I was in the microelectronics batch of 2010 to 2012. And MS Kesa was my MTech guide also for the project. And for the question, a straightforward answer would be that we have gone past our dreams, to tell you the truth. So that is on the encouraging side, but also there is the other side where there is a lot of miscorrelation between what we thought it would be outside and what it is. So, but of course, it's a part and parcel of life. We all learn with experiences. We take a great wealth of knowledge and experience from our professors at college. We also learn from our own experiences. And then we kind of tend to build on that. So that's the usual process. But yeah, a short answer would be that Manipal played a great role in sowing the seeds for those dreams which we work towards realizing eventually. So a short answer would be definitely yes, sir. So, yeah. And I think I was pleasantly surprised by the new experience center that we have here. And I just wished immediately if I was not 20 years younger. So, because that one capsule of inspiration would have driven us through for the entire 2 years. So I think the newer students are privileged that they have all these inputs from all sources coming around. So Manipal, I think I'm really happy, really proud also to have been a part of this experience. And who knows, maybe later if there's an opportunity, I'd like to associate in a greater role and a greater form. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So the name I already said. My name is Aditya and I'm coming from Bangalore. Right now I'm a principal engineer at NXP Semiconductors. I manage physical design teams, and we do some great cutting edge ADAS projects. So ADAS meaning the automotive, advanced automotive projects. And we are into car automation and that kind of thing, functional safety. So a lot of other aspects. And, and life for a semiconductor engineer is great of late, and the future also looks pretty bright. And I hope, yeah, especially people in microelectronics, you should feel lucky that you're in the right time frame, in the right area of R&D. So yeah, make use of the opportunity and you'll go places. Thank you.
I welcome more, please.
And recently we have institute has signed MOU with NXP Semiconductors along with the CS departments, and Mr. Mittal was here recently, and they are planning to set up a lab in our department in the early next year. Yeah.
Yeah, anybody else? You can also throw questions at us. That's actually an interaction. Shilpa, any, yeah.
I think let us make it more informal, okay? It's not too formal, right? Yeah, in some amount of informality at this point is very, very essential, and that would add value to that. So you are no more sitting in the classroom. Okay, so this you can see the setup. It is a more a horizontal communication than a inclined or vertical communication. I hope you understand what I mean by that. So therefore, there is a give and take, or there is a kind of exchange of information for both. You know, what institutions? Say you can see some of us are having gray or no hair. So therefore, you can enrich that. So that is a purpose. Therefore, sit relaxed, feel free, make it a little more informal than very formal. So with that context, I think.
Yeah, that's what actually on that side there is a lot of industrial experience, and this side we have only academic experience. So there is something that we expect to come from that side also, because that will help us. We have helped you, so that's that way.
Myself, Madhu. I was with DAC from 2009 to 2011. Right now, I am with AMD as a designer, working as a designer for the last 2.5 years. I've been working as a verification engineer on x86 processors for 10 years, and for the last 2 years or so, I'm with the design team. So to start with, where Sir put us into, like, what was your dream, and did we? I took it as, did we make your dreams possible, or that's the question pointed to. So to start with, I was basically from electronics background, to start with PCME from PU, and then electronics and communication from engineering. So my immediate dream was MTech in electronics. So the next target was Manipal. Probably that was the short-term dream, which gave me a gateway to the electronics industry, basically. But right now, if I look back, I would say that I should have dreamed bigger, because Manipal made it possible to give a bigger exposure, basically. And that is what I would say. And coming to industry and our academic closure, right? There are two things to it. One, what industry provides, or what industry is, and what is that reflected in what we study, right? I would see postgrad as a learning process or a training course for what people do in the industry. In that, I would say not really a disconnect, but there is sufficient gap where we can cover. For example, if someone from the industry, like for alumni who have hands-on with what industry does, if they come and give presentation to students and tell them that this is what we do, that is where, as a student, I would like to connect what I am learning and how is it relevant to the industry. That thing probably, I don't know if you guys are already engaged with such things, that thing is good and relevant is what I feel. And the second thing, where Manipal provides opportunity, right? It's a great opportunity compared to, I don't want to compare, but as a institution, they are providing great opportunity to students. And someone who's getting into Manipal, definitely they're in the right place, is what I would like to say. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, what did you say your name, sir? Madhu. So, yeah, based on what Madhu said, one question crops up in my mind. All over India, if you see, the PG admissions are coming down. This is a fact. The admissions to PG courses, engineering PG courses coming down. And the reason, I don't know, according to one professor, the reason is that the industry doesn't prefer PG students because they don't bring any additional skill set compared to a UG student. And at the same time, they have to pay more. So since you are from the industry, I would like to know your opinion or viewpoint. Yeah, please.
Hi, my name is Bhairava from DEC 2011 batch. So to that question, sir, no, actually it's not in, I work from Cadence, so the first preference is always for the PG students first. And even I was part of the placement group in the Cadence. So we always prefer PG students first. Only if we can't get a proper candidate, then we go for undergrads. But yeah, but it's always preferable, and even the kind of things we learn, it's not possible with the undergrads, and they can't cope up with the kind of things we do. And one question I had for the staff mainly. So when we were studying, we used to not have any online resources, if possible. No YouTube, no internet, nothing. We used to depend on teachers for everything. So now, because of very advanced thing, everybody is preferring ILS method, online methods. So is it very challenging for you, or it's very easy to job become easier or become tough? I don't know.
Yeah, you are putting us in a spot. So who will answer that? I am not going to answer.
I can try. I can try that. Say, ultimately, what is the objective of our interaction, be it in institution or industry or anywhere? It's a continuous improvement of knowledge. From that perspective, the more you are informed, the more you are you get information, then that is actually a better for us. I would see it as something positive rather than on the negative side. Because I need not have to spend my time in the classroom on too much of basics, rather than I can start straight away slightly at a higher pedestal and then continue. From that point of view, it is, but having said that, the other part is bit disturbing. That is, the distraction is bit disturbing. Other than that, there is no, as long as information is used in the right perspective, and as long as that is spread in the right way, there is no issue at all. But distraction, what is caused by this, what is called overload of cognition or overload of digital cognitive media, that is what is slightly disturbing. But it is, we can't help it. It is a part of life. We have to live with that. That's my opinion. I don't know, others may voice it. It's a cognitive overload. That's very disturbing.
So the online resources, what we get, we also learn from that. So nowadays we have MOOCs and NPTEL courses, videos by IIT professors, or maybe Stanford, etc. So we do also go through them, and as you said, online, the digital resources are so many that sometimes even students don't understand from where to pick up. So in that way, when we learn, we also impart that links or knowledge to them. And at the same time, it also helps us to enhance what we have gained. And life is like, it's an ever learning process. So we need to keep on learning and at the same time imparting. So definitely challenges are there, but we have to be challenged, and then we will enhance our knowledge as well.
So one more counter question for your answers. So, your sir said that there are the PG admissions are going down. So I interact with a lot of students outside in the industry as well. So because of this, extensive available opportunities for learning online, so people are tending towards learning through their respective subjects online. Suppose if I want to learn digital electronics, assume, okay, right. So I don't need to join any course in a college. I can just find that course in the online, and I can just learn, and I can, gain my experience and find jobs related to that in the industry. And that's why it is pointing. Actually, that's what it's going towards. Okay, so as an educational institution, the method of learning is changing a lot drastically. I mean, suppose if I want to explain something on the board, I don't need to draw with a marker and explain it. You can just have an animation directly putting up, and it's much more easy to see and learn very fastly. It's more captivating than going from scratch. And they don't want to spend that time. Why do you have to wait for teacher to draw everything? And I just can have an animation that directly pops up everything and shows to me. So since it's going towards there, right, for a lot of animations and a lot of graphics involved in creating the content, educational content for the subjects. So is the college, is it having any plans towards that? Are you planning to create something like that? Maybe that might be the future coming towards us.
Yeah, that is more of a suggestion. I think I'll take that more as a suggestion, and definitely we'll have to adapt to these changes which are happening. And a lot of resources available, as you rightly said. So students need not necessarily be dependent totally on the professors. They can learn things on their own, probably, if I may say, in a better way. So we'll have to catch up. We'll have to reinvent the teaching methods so that we are able to. So I'll take that as a suggestion.
So about Sir's second question, so I agree with him. So as PG students, we always have an edge over the UG students. I mean, if I had just done my UG, it would take a few more years, a few more companies that I had to jump to get where I am now. That, and if once you come to think of it, it's not really more of an expense, not much investment. It takes only 10 months of hard work to get straight into the industry, and you have the rest of the life sorted out for us. Anyway, second year, you're already there in your internship, you're there in the industry, so it's effectively just 10 months of extra hard work that you need to put in.
The question still remains, in spite of that, why there is a lesser demand? Still, the question still remains.
I'd like to add on that. It's a myth that industry prefers only the undergrads. Actually, industry mostly prefers the postgrads. I mean, definitely what teams we are working for. Because of two reasons. One, people, if we take undergrads, right, we choose people, we handpick people, and they're smarter people who work for, say, 1 year or 2 years, and they are not long-term investment for the company, actually. So they tend to go to postgrad or switch or do something. But when it comes to undergrad or postgrads, they will have some commitment, and they tend to stay with the company for quite some time. And also, undergrad, someone who's smart enough will at least take 1 year, at least what we are working for, to catch up. But for a postgrad who has some background about what we are doing, definitely they can pick up things faster. So at least it will be a good investment for us to put in a postgrad than an undergrad. And when it comes to money, it's actually subjective. It varies from, not necessarily undergrad gets less than a postgrad. It depends on how smart they are and how efficiently they are. So it's subjective. You can't say that undergrad gets paid better or postgrad gets paid better.
Yeah. So just to add a few points on what Madhu was saying, even I was surprised to know that, okay, PG seats in an institution like MIT remain empty. That was like kind of tough for me to believe. But yeah, I'll take my experience. So yeah, I am a BE and C graduate. But yeah, when I came to Manipal, like someone said, yeah, it's 10 months of real hard work. It really made me realize, oh, okay, this is what you're worth of and this is where you lack. Like, okay, you learn something in the class, but then how do you really apply it when that's asked as a question in your exam? Or take, for instance, you're doing something in the lab. In bachelor's, I don't want to undermine anything here, but at least for me, it was like an eye opener. I realized that, oh, okay, these 10 months taught me, okay, that is not how you do. You basically learn something, understand the underlying concept, and then you apply it. That's where you're going to succeed, otherwise you're not going to succeed. And yeah, coming to masters being preferred over, like bachelors being preferred over masters, I don't completely agree there, because when we also screen candidates, right, like, okay, like I'll get some resumes, depending on where the candidate has come from, that makes a big difference. Like, okay, now, I mean, just not, I mean, I'm an alumni of MIT, I get that, but then there are some deemed institutions wherein we know that, okay, if the candidate is coming from here, he or she is at least worth giving a try. So we know what they would have gone through, and then like they would have been at least prepped for, okay, what is needed in the industry. Like for instance, when we came in, we had a new subject introduced. So that subject, we opted for it, and that really gave us a lot of learning for us. Okay, so, and then when we went into the industry, like coincidentally, we started applying that subject too much into our day-to-day work. So yeah, master students are a little well-polished and well-trained for the industry. And I would say, like, it's also people should realize, okay, where they're doing the masters from. So from a deemed institution, if they, a well-reputed institute, if they do, they know that, okay, they're going to come out in a very well-prepared manner.
Good morning, all. My name is Amir, and I passed out from 2014 microelectronics batch, and I'm currently working with Google as senior technical solution consultant responsible for Chromebook scaling and also setting up the local assembly for Google here for Chromebooks. And I would like to start by answering your questions as to did your dreams actually match the reality. So I believe nothing can prepare you for the ultimate reality. So all you can do from your side is throw challenges and build a culture or attitude within your students to kind of pick the problem statements, break it into smaller chunks and figure out how to solve it, because that's the ability that would come handy across all the job roles that you pursue in your future. So I think the curriculum kind of does that. Currently, you kind of throw problems to your students and then expect them to solve it. It would be better to kind of up-rev the current curriculum as per the industry norms as well, because a lot of industry is moving towards open source currently. And if you can introduce some of the open source curriculum into the current subjects, right, they would be able to pick up and contribute something onto the open source. So the employability currently, it's mostly what I see is based on keywords that is scanned through your resume. That's what goes in the background of all the major companies. They search for keywords and then they do it. So putting out the right tools, setting the right tools for your students, for us and the students coming forward. So if the keyword matches, you've worked on the right set of tools, you've done open source, you've done contributed to Linux kernel or firmware driver somewhere else, right? So it kind of helps to bring out that employability factor into the students. And a lot of corporates are also running, so it's basically a two-way street. It's not like corporates are not looking for people to work, because it's just, if they find somebody, they would definitely hire them. So one thing, there are a lot of initiatives that are run by corporate itself, like Google runs Google Code Collab that people can join and then contribute to the open source. I believe Intel recently did an all India, or it was a worldwide AI university that they run. So if people from different background can join or want to pursue something in AI and stuff, they could kind of get enrolled into those forums and run the, so it's basically looking for the right opportunities from the corporates itself, because they are also trying to match the gaps between the employability from the current pass out and what they expect from the industry. So that's the area that we can work towards, I think.
I'm Karthik Sharan, and I'm from 13-15 batch, 13 to 15 microelectronics batch. So coming to the, what are the questions being posed? What I could say is that, like, what are the better things what we could do academically is one thing what I get from you. And second thing, why the MTech thing, MTech preferability is coming down. Two things is what are the betterment we could do on academical front. What I feel is like in my case, I could just take an example of it. Like for whatever the, if I see in VLSI, we have a lot of testing and testability, like physical design. We have a lot of verification. All the fields are CMOS mixing, anything. Betterment, what we could do, what I feel is like, if you, for example, like if I'm doing something on testing, for example, so definitely the postgrad who is coming out, he need to know what are the various tools we are using for testing, how they are doing the testing, and what are the simpler methods we could do testing in a more practical way. More practical way. Means like they need not do a 1 million or 2 million things. They could just do with some, they just need to know the synopsis of what they are going to do in front and more on a practical platform. So that is where actually, like if we could just build on a bit, it will be great actually. So when I am around only, so there is a tie-up with a karmic semiconductor, I think, I believe in. So a lot of my batchmates got enrolled and they did benefit it. But if that could be extended on a, for example, in the VLSI flow, if you take it, from RTL to gate level simulation, we have the synthesis, a lot of process involved, like the testing and verification, physical design, physical verification. Just the students need to understand what all the platforms we have. More on a practical note would definitely help a bit more is what I believe in. And coming to why the MTech admissions are coming like on a discussion note, I feel definitely MTech will definitely, I accept with him, it will make us ready to place ourselves in a better way when compared to others on a academic front. And one more thing, I see these days actually in general day-to-day activities, like in the industry, like many people are taking up, after BTech, they are taking up this certification courses actually. I see a lot of emerging courses in Bangalore and Hyderabad, all the metro cities. If they want to do something on verification, some of the batchmates are there. So they are setting up some verification course, some 1 year. They do nothing actually. They just, the tool, they give the tool, they have the tool, some 40 nanometer or 28 nanometer, old Synopsys or Cadence tool. They have some old project. So they just make these people relevant enough to that industrial. Industrially, they will be relevant enough whatever we study. That's what they do. But all the theoretical stuff have been told by us. To be frank, all we have covered it. They just do the 30-40% extra theoretical, practical stuff, and for that they are charging a bomb actually. But that path has been taken by few people these days, I see actually. So that is also one thing what is happening around is what I believe in actually. So that's what, yeah. And presently I'm working as in NXP Semiconductor as a lead physical design engineer, and just got to know that one of our batchmate is a principal engineer in NXP actually. I think Haditya, I think, yeah, just I got to know him. So glad to hear from Subramanian Nayak sir that there is a tie-up with NXP. So any of our batchmates, definitely any places, you could just reach me. I will definitely refer all the university to NXP. Bye, thank you.
So I just want to add one point before I forget that. So related to what you said just now, we will be upgrading our, syllabus updating will be happening very soon, the master's program. So we will approach some of you. Maybe you can help us in making it more sort of industry relevant. And by hearing some of the answers now, the problem seems to be more complicated. Because then in the industry side says they prefer PG students, but on the other side we see that admissions are coming down. And it's not just with the MIT, it's actually everywhere in India. That's the thing. Anyhow, let's continue.
Can I add to what Karthik said actually? So there are two dimensions that you covered very rightly. Third dimension is, what is the differentiating factor between a PG student and a UG student? Unless there is a big delta, why would I look at somebody who is 2 years or 3 years older, in some cases more, who has, it has been widely observed that the approach that a BTech student takes, the energy levels that they bring in, slightly different from the kind of energy that a PG student brings in. He is more settled, he is more, he's less of a risk taker, going by my own experience, because I worked between my engineering and MTech. What I did during that time frame and what I did after my MTech, there is a huge difference. And the way I approach my job, So all this play a factor. And secondly, the differentiating factor between a PG and UG student is not so much in India. What we need to really focus on is how a PG student gets recognized in a different bracket than a UG student. What we are more doing off late, that I observe in most universities, is we are trying to do the coursework in a way that what is compulsory for a PG student becomes an elective for a UG student. So in a manner of speaking, a UG student is more or less a PG student, he's halfway there. So that takes away the extra edge that a PG student may have. And in addition, the PG students are also not so focused on probably dreaming about a career path early enough, working towards it early enough. Maybe they get into the game a little later. That takes away the edge slightly also. So one suggestion I have is, why don't we make it more research based? That is a clear thing that a UG course does not provide for. The research will be the edge. That will be the factor that will differentiate the PG student, put him in a different bracket, take him to roles which a UG student is normally not given as a fresher. Right? So I think we need to work in a direction where we make it more research oriented. That is a niche thing that a PG student is equipped with. So that will fetch him a better outlook in the industry. That will also advertise his course better for the youngsters who want to take it up later. Because that's something that they will not find in the UG course, clearly. So as per today. So I think we can also think in that direction. Anyone else? Yeah.
Hello, this is Vishwanath Bharadwaj, 2011 to 13 DEAC branch. So just getting to, maybe I'll get to that topic at a later point. So not to sugarcoat, our batch was mostly interested in getting jobs in the VLS industry. So that objective was met most of the time. So we got internships at different places. We could ultimately get into the VLS industry. And for that, so kudos to Manipal University. So we got, the window was given to us only at MIT Manipal. And one more thing, what I felt was, whatever the curriculum we had, maybe then it was highly industry oriented. Because when I was working as an, at AMD, right, so the computer architecture. So what GSN sir taught was actually being applied there. So if ever I would have realized that, I would have focused more onto that computer architecture class. Same was with the testing and testability. Same was the different other subjects what were being taught. So, but yeah, so that is one more thing. And so at least our objective could be met with that particular curriculum. And what I feel is that curriculum was more suited towards the industry. So we were DAC or micro, whatever the electives, all of them were focused towards us getting into the VLSI industry, and it was successful. But what I see is in my batch of around 22 students, only one guy pursued PhD. The rest of them are all working in different industries and all. So what I feel is the curriculum is not inclined towards academics, or if anyone wants to pursue research, as already been touched upon by Aditya. So so the students are of that mindset to get jobs, and the curriculum is also oriented that way. But maybe that is also one differentiating factor, what is maybe reducing the number of our PG applicants, because people might not find it attractive. If they don't want to get into the industry and want to pursue a path of research or academics, maybe they are thinking this to be a second opportunity. They want to look elsewhere. So maybe that is one thing, because I don't think any of us have published any journals or such. In my batch, at least to my knowledge, maybe one or two, but it was all, we were wanting to get a job actually, so not to sugarcoat it, just to put bluntly, that objective was met, but academically, if we were to grow and all, so maybe the curriculum was not that oriented, or it was not that nourishing in that direction. Yeah.
We will, maybe we'll discuss the way we can open up opportunities for our present PG students to get internships. I don't know how many of you are poised for that in your respective industries. So can you help in any way to provide internship, put it in, again, bluntly, to provide internship to our PG students? In what way can you help? as I said, you may or may not be poised to do that. I don't know what is your position in the industry. So is there any way you can help us in that? The other one is that helping us in the formulation of the syllabus, which definitely you people can, because you have a lot of industrial experience. So is it possible in some way to accommodate as interns our PG students? Of course, right now they do have opportunities, but still we want to have more windows open for that. So I would like to know whether how you'll be able to help us in that.
So we can definitely help on that front. I think if we can maintain a kind of a online doc as to who are the students for passing out this year, and what are the projects that they've done for that particular year, what are the industry-specific tools or technologies that they have kind of used in the project. So basically, name of the student, the project worked, the industry tools that they've worked on, and the technology or the skill sets that are aligned to the industry, and kind of make it available on an online platform for everybody to see. So if any internship opportunity comes at my company, I can just go refer to that list and see if there's any matching candidate to it, because it's so there are a variety of internship openings for different teams, and every team targets a different skill set. So it's kind of good to have a go-to list to kind of check and see if something applies to this candidate and kind of work through from there. So kind of a accessible database for students on the projects and the current skill set that they've used in the project. So, and this could be made available for all the people across who've just passed and have access to the job portals internally at the company, right? So people can just apply for that position, and also the resume in that list. Maybe that would help.
My name is Vishwanath, and I'm 2006-2008 batch. So to your question on how to enhance internship opportunities here at MIT, one such way is through memorandum of understanding to be signed with the industry. So actually, industry require students for their job profile based on specific constraints. So if the students are given training or opportunities to be trained in the industry through memorandum of understanding or collaborations, which MIT has already with many of the industries. And also there are some other programs like AACT, government-based programs, like AACT internships, which are already available. So if the students are given opportunities to take up such internships, then their job profile will enhance, and they will get better job opportunities. And memorandum of understanding with industries is very important, because nowadays the learning is going to be industry based, and most of the students who come to the engineering colleges, they come with the intention of getting good job opportunities. So if there is a tie-up with the industry, research-based industry, and if some students are made to work on consultancy projects, then definitely students will not only get knowledge, but they'll also get experience. So the motto of MIT was knowledge is power. That is what I learned during my undergraduate days and my MTech. But nowadays the curriculum is changing, and it is becoming more industry oriented. So a lot of industry collaboration is very much essential for the growth of academic growth of the students. So I would suggest that more and more industry collaborations and MOUs should be done, so that students will get an opportunity to work in different environments, which is not available in academics. So academic environment is totally different from what is there in industry. So when the students get into the industry or into the job, they should not feel something new or different. Because if they get internship opportunities in industries, then when they get into the job, they will learn more than just start learning. So that is what is my suggestion. Yes, thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Sharad. I happen to be a recent graduate of MIT, batch of 2019-21. To reciprocate what our senior said, it's a sure short way of enhancing the placement or the internship opportunities for the PG student is to work on, is to first get in collaboration with the setting up these labs with the industry, like be it Infineon, be it NXP or Texas Instrument. So if you have their lab set up in your organizations, right? So you will be having access to their products, what they manufacture. So each product will have certain data specifications related to them. So if students are made to realize what each specifications are and what each sensor or each microcontroller does, and if students are made to work on their products, so the industry people are more likely aligned that your people are taken as a priority. Suppose, for example, I work at Infineon, so we have our own microcontrollers. So if any professors show interest that they'll use their products to enhance their capabilities or to identify what are the shortcomings that their product has, or what are the limitations of this product, or the what can I say, what are the more applications that these microcontroller may add on to. So these are the things which industry doesn't have time to invest, because they would be more focused on achieving the targets and completing their client requirements, everything. So though they know the research problems, though they want to invest their time in understanding the problem and the limitations, they don't have that time. So that's why if they can delegate that problem to the students, and students come across with solution, they would be more than happy to hire you. So that is one thing. So coming to the fact that the quality of students that are coming to MIT, it's always you always get the credible students to MIT. So you have this entrance exam. So that creamy layer is always there in MIT. So having that refresher course for 1 month in MTech, and then you can straight away align students to the required industries or the development, what can I say, that tie-up which the industry has. So this is what I want to emphasize more, so that students should be made aware of the data or the specs of their particular domain, and what are the limitations and what is already there in the industry. So that would be helping. So to quote an example, we have been using inverters left and right here in the college. Any design we can use inverter, anything. But that single block of inverter has, what are the limitations of that inverter? What is the maximum frequency of that inverter can achieve? What is the maximum load capacitance that it can handle? And it's like, see, anyone who works on artificial intelligence or neural networks, they get a lot of respect. So you work on artificial intelligence, oh, okay, you do like this. So you have a lot of Instagram influencers also showing that post your picture like this, it can create an avatar like this. So it all happens. But the same thing doesn't happen in the electronics industry. It's the professors itself. You guys have to tell us, if this circuit is there, this is where its application is. So if a particular design I'm studying, where is it applicable? How can I modify? What is happening to this circuit? And why is the circuit not used elsewhere? So these type of short 1 or 2 snippets of each applications of the circuits would really actually fantasize students and thereby enhance their productivity as well in the industry. That's what.
Yeah. So I think any more points which I have left out from the faculty side? Any questions?
Okay, I'm Divya, faculty of ENC department. So here I'm just making a note of the points what you have listed out. From my analysis, what I'm feeling is, so now we want a proper bridge between academic and industry, right? So that is what we are looking for. So if you voluntarily come to us and help us in framing the syllabus or curriculum, it will be really helpful for us. And also setting up a lab. So what are the tools you are making use? So if we are, or the students, if they are introduced with that tools, so really it will be helpful for us, right? And you are the seniors, and of course, if you do in such way or voluntarily form a team, and if you are specialized in particular area, list out and say, yes, these are the projects which are available, and even the students can focus into that. So if you say us, these are the tools which we are trying to learn or you are trying to implement or working on the project. So if you give us the list of the tools, so basically we are expecting you to help us setting up the lab, so that it will be truly helpful from your side for your juniors and of course for our college. So yeah, this is what I'm thinking of.
Hello, I'm Ramya. I am also PG alumni of first batch of microelectronics 2008 to 10. Some of you have mentioned about a research or something. Nowadays, this time of curriculum, they updated with all the PG student, okay, they have to publish one conference or the journal paper. It's a compulsory for them, and they have been given a mentor in the department. We would also like your part in that, so that it can be bridge the industry and a faculty gap, because we may not be knowing the industry what you are looking for. So we can connect. Now anyhow we have all the WhatsApp group and all that. We can connect and you can tell us which area you are looking for, and we can have the one mentor in the industry, one in the our department, and we can put a research paper or whatever way. And they are dedicated because they have a research methodology which is compulsory, and they have to come up with a paper, journal paper or a conference paper. So we are trying to enhance the research capability of the recent batch or whatever. So we would like your share in that and contribution in that. Thank you.
In this regard, I would like to extend and convey that we have, from this year, we have started Industry Academia Committee, in which our alumni can come forward and contribute as a resource person. Maybe we can organize some hands-on session with your support, so that not only the students get trained, but even you can impart knowledge to us, where it will be passed on to all the students. So this committee, maybe you can give your interest areas and your volunteering interest to the department office. We have a ledger, so we can send the circular whenever we are trying to organize such webinars. Thank you.
Few points I would like to highlight on, through which we will be able to connect each other. One is, as Madam told, through IAC, we have an Industry Academia Committee. You can be part of that and help in that. If you can, we will make circular and. Now we have received your email IDs, so we will send the circular through email ID. Yeah. And maybe you can respond accordingly. And we need to get your resume approval and all those things. There is a procedure. And we will also share the policy of that also, IAC policy, what exactly expected from the industry personnel, all those things. Secondly, we have iConnect and A-Connect, that is Industry Connect and A-Connect programs in the virtual mode, of which is already we have started this year. And few of our faculty, PG alumni, already connected through this. One of them is Dr. Bharat, whether he is there or not, I don't know. He is in Intel. You can also be part of that and give talks, seminars in the virtual mode, and our faculty and students will be able to participate in that. Okay, please and your colleagues or friends, anyone is there, they can connect through iConnect program, Industry Connect. You can connect through A-Connect, that is Alumni Connect. And this year we got UG curriculum revised. We already got the approval from BOS, and PG curriculum revision is due next year, that is 2023. So we seek your help in revising the syllabus, as Dr. Satish has already told you, in introducing few modules of particular subject, or you can also offer an elective also, industry offered elective. Like that, we have already got one industry offered elective by Nokia for UG students. So for 7 semester students, we have this year we have introduced, because electives we can introduce at any point of time. So there is no restriction. We need to get some approvals from DCC and BOS, that we will be able to do it. And at any point of time, industry offered elective, if you can completely this Nokia personnel, they are taking the subject entirely. Through the virtual mode only they are taking, and only the evaluation part, our faculty will be associated with that. So like that, you can be part of that. And one more point is about this year's achievement as a Golden Jubilee year. We got UG program accredited by NBA, and for the first time we are going for PG accreditation also this year. Now to start with, we are going for PG electronics, and later we may go for ECE also. And the committee will be visiting our department early next year, that is February 23 expected visit. So we hope we'll be able to get the NBA accreditation also. And parallelly, we are also going for IET accreditation for both the UG and PG programs, and that committee also expected in February, because it was actually scheduled in November and December. Due to some other reasons, technical reasons, they were not able to visit us, but it is expected next year. Okay, and your PG programs will get accreditation. We hope for that. And department has done many MOAs with many industries. For the example which we have given, NXP Semiconductors, we have already got MOU, and CS department is also associated with that. And we have few plans to, because NXP has already promised that they will set up a lab here, as well as help in conducting seminars and internship offers, etc., etc. And we also got MOU with the ELCOM in association with the aeronautical department, and Kailash Aggregate Tech, as well as in the Indian Naval Academy, etc. And last point is about the international conference. We are going to have it in February. You can also be part of that, okay, as an invited speaker or something like that. So our organizing committee will contact you in this regard. If interested, you can be part of that. And for PG accreditation time, our faculty members may approach you, because few of the alumni also required during a PG accreditation time. So last time during UG also, we got few of them from local, those were here only, studied here. So like that, during PG also, we'll be able to contact you if you are free, and if you are able to come here, you can be part of that accreditation, because there will be interaction by the NBA committee with the alumni and their parents also. Okay, so these are the few points I had. Thank you.
So this is your institution, your alma mater. So therefore, feel free. There is nothing like, no inhibition is required. So as HOD has already said, so anytime, anything, if you have some innovative idea in your mind, which you feel that the institution, if it takes it along, that would help your succeeding or your next generation, then probably just drop in one WhatsApp message or one email or whatever, So we will take it. So to tell you how proactive our department is, we felt that there are a lot of job opportunities in the VLSI domain. That is our experience. So DEAC people did not have any VLSI design subject. So our curriculum is revised in such a way that DEC will also have one subject on VLSI design in the very first year. So last 3 years, I think, last 3 years we have, 3 or 4 years, we have that. So that we expect that it would improve their job prospects. So these are all the ways in which we proceed and we involve such things so that our students would get benefited. So you can also add in, you can also just put few points, not necessarily very formally, informally also, anytime. So feel free. That's the only thing I can say.
Two more points I forgot to mention here. The institution, university is planning for MTech programs. Suppose in your industry some UG graduates are there and would like to pursue MTech, there will be a provision going to be implemented in part-time mode, or our faculty will go to the place, because it is already working for one course in ICT department, software engineering. So faculty are going to Bangalore and they are teaching MTech courses, MTech programs one can pursue. So please spread this message to your colleagues who have got undergraduation and would like to pursue PG in microelectronics, or one more program also. We have wireless and mobile communication. We have started this year, and also in digital electronics. And second important thing is this PhD program also. Now the university is permitting for part-time PhDs also. Those who are in industry would like to go for enhance their academic qualification, they can also go for PhD. Part-time PhD is going to come, and the policy is under review. And once that is done, you can be at your industry and pursue PhD in part-time mode. And one of the guides should be there in the industry, something like that. And then you can contribute to the department in a better way also, more effectively and actively you can involve. And Dr. Bharat Tengudu, he is from 12 to 14 batch, no? He's the classmate. Presently, he did from MNIT, Jaipur, and presently in Intel Corporation. He is one of the department curriculum committee member. So like that, you can also be part of our curriculum revision committee, etc., and contribute for the betterment of our department and the institution at large. Thank you.
Okay, before probably we conclude, there is one important part of this interaction that is between those who are sitting there. That is our PG students, those who are sitting there, and the alumni. So probably you can also have an informal interview straight away. So that's what we have. It's getting ready next. So please make use of the opportunity, because they are there. Yes, sir. Yeah, please.
It's in line with what you're saying right now. So I was kind of be proactive on your side also to reach out to your seniors, because we get paid for getting you jobs. It's that easy. Like if we land you a job, we get paid. There's a concept called as referral bonus in each company. It's a two-way street. Don't hesitate in reaching out to your seniors for a job opportunity. Bug them. Like if they don't respond, be persistent, reaching out to maybe a week to even a month, because that's your opportunity. Knock the doors until you crack it down. So don't hesitate reaching out to your seniors, because it's a two-way street. So we don't do it for free. So it's kind of important to get that thought in your mind. So.
Hi, myself Ankur Moore. I am from microelectronics 11 to 13 batch. So one suggestion I wanted to give is, during the internship we have an internal guide, right, from the department and all. Somewhere alumni, support that. And to student, it might be allocated in whichever field he is doing an internship. He will be given as a guide to support him, or to some extent, to understand his expertise better, maybe in a digital design or digital verification or analog design sides. So he can utilize his internship in a better way, because he has a better prospect of the industry and what tools needs to be learned, where to focus the things, or stuff like that. Alumni, if that way department will connect with alumni and existing outgoing students, that may help them.
Industry. So industry, from one industry to another industry, there is a non-disclosure agreements, and there is a conflict. It will lead to conflict of a violation. We cannot take you as a guide in that perspective.
I would not say a guide. In the sense is, let's say when person is appearing for an internship in a verification domain or digital design domain, then I'm not talking about disclosing of a design or anything. Those things are different things. But as a mentor, where to get it a better understanding.
Got it,
What
got
are
it,
the things?
got it,
So
got it.
that
But
I
still,
need to- okay.
still, Ankur, you are now part and parcel of an employee of one industry. So, whatever the rules and regulations and laws, that has to be upheld.
Yeah.
That is called your professional integrity. So, when you are an employee of that, you cannot get into this kind of activity with another institution. If that student is working in MIT, then it is okay. But mostly what happens is our students are taking internship in another industry. That case, it may not be possible. If a student is doing an internship at MIT, you are always welcome and you can do that. Thank you very much for that openness, at least from in you, that your heart speaks. But unfortunately, that brain does not allow you to do that activity.
One more thing that I would like to add is on the conduction of industrial visit, which is not there in PG program. So, there is internship in PG program, but most of the students are unaware of which internship to take. So, if some sort of industrial visit is organized, so students will be much aware which industrial visit, which industry or which field they can opt for. Like for example, in digital electronics and advanced communications subject, which I took. So it's a very vast subject, and there are numerous internship opportunities in that. Suppose if some industrial visit is organized, students will have a choice of giving their preference on different internships. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe we'll take just one more opinion and then we will conclude if you don't have any other questions. Do you have any questions? Yeah, please continue.
So, from last few minutes, I'm a newbie compared to all of alumni here, but many have given some good feedback about academics, curriculum and all that. From my experience, Manipal is quite adaptable. They have changed academics, curriculum. Even I believe in our class, Jason sir used to add some extra points which are not even in academics, which are industry oriented. But sir used to give us clues which are not there, but which could be relevant for us in future. So it is our job as a student to later go and dig on those things, right? So that mindset is required from students as well. And come on, this is very well known for all of us. Why we come to MIT? We wanted a platform. Nobody dreamt of this. I'm being brutally honest. Okay, nobody prepare for their exam or GATE just to get into MIT. They initially prepare for IIT, NIT, and then if they don't, then they go to MIT. That is completely fine, I feel. If you couldn't do it, fine. Now you are in this level, it is our job to get to that level where IITians are working right now, right? So that is the extra push as a student which we have to give. And I wanted to say that because I myself couldn't get any internship or placement through campus. I was not eligible also because of my academics. And I'm not ashamed to say that. But later on, I was able to get in offers from Samsung, Global Foundry, Intel, Qualcomm, and later Microsoft. That was only because of the strong fundamental basics. Okay, and what I felt, rather than bombarding student with the research paper, some compulsion, or maybe doing something like do this project or industry-oriented technology node and blah, 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 blah. It is, as a student, is it not a great thing to just go good at a student, being a student? And the role of a student is good at your basics or fundamentals or the things which you are learning right now. And in my experience, I talked very casually with my directors later on, director, managers and all. What they told me as a feedback is you are not at all ready in terms of industry or your some tools or all these things, but we liked your attitude. And as a someone who is hiring, they look maybe I feel 50% they look as a mindset from a student. If he's willing to learn, he has that attitude to learn, and 50% that fundamentals. They don't want to invest their brain teaching that candidate what is NMOS and why the transistor sizing is done. Many of our my juniors, they have texted me on LinkedIn and asked me for referrals and all that. And simply I asked them, can you explain me transistor sizing? And they are not able to explain. So I help them, and the mindset when they go forward and learn, make their fundamentals strong, it is not really hard to get into internship or job opportunities, I feel. So from faculty side, I personally feel faculties are doing great. From student side, maybe students as us, in our master side, masters at that time we didn't do that great. So it is our responsibility also. And from alumni or someone who already studied here, it is our job. So to help our juniors and help out. So I'm proud to say that some of our juniors, those who contacted me earlier, or Sharad also, they got into internship, and it is nice to see when they texted you, "Hi bhaiya, I got internship, and thanks to you." So this little things which we should also do from our side, right? We don't need all these. Jason sir is doing all this collaboration, all these programs, forums. It should come naturally, and we should just help out. That is all.
Yeah, thank you. So before I miss that, actually what you said is correct, and that has a lot of message for you. The guru can only show you the way, you have to walk the path.
Correct. Very nice. Very nice. Sorry, okay, just 1 second. I am so much tempted when Paras spoke. Paras is one student among many. There are a couple of more which I can name. For example, Praveen in one of the batch, he is not there today. I expected him to come here. So there are some students in the class whom I don't think anybody would have dreamt that they would reach that kind of accomplishment. Paras is one of them. I think every one of you can join your hands to congratulate Paras. Remarkable accomplishment, remarkable accomplishment. I have been observing him right from the first day. Paras used to, throw questions at me. Most of the time, I admit that I felt, oh, this I don't know. I have to learn. I have to go back and, brush my fundamentals once again and come back and say, Paras, this is like that. I am sorry I could not address. So that kind of student he was. And but if you look at the conventional scoring, marks or whatever say, that never reflected his original capabilities. His original capability was reflected only after he got his employment in Qualcomm. So this is a remarkable accomplishment. I really agree. And more than that, another thing what I appreciate so much is so humble, so speaking from the heart, so humane. That is what we all, as Satish was just telling, that is what makes us different. That's what makes us different. I don't know. Sorry, I tend to. So, Ajay Sahu, Praveen was there. Praveen is now, he's an entrepreneur. Ajay was your batch, no? Yeah, same batch. Ajay Sahu. Correct. Yeah, by the by, yes, correct. Just 1 minute. Paras, one more, your talk or your inputs provoked me to ask one question to all of you. So you said, your dream was to join IIT, etc. Obviously, IIT. Now, you got your degree from MIT, and now you are in the job. Now you are not alone. You are also surrounded by engineers from IIT, IISc, maybe from abroad. So where do you stand among them? How industry is seeing an MIT postgraduate or graduate? I'm very curious to know that. Or rather, another way of putting it is, how you are showing your worth in front of them. Any of you can answer that question, of course. I am curious to know that. And I wish to hear some good news.
No, sir, there is definitely a good news. Because, okay, I will tell you, when I joined Qualcomm, right, my manager was not really in favor of getting me on board, actually. Because they shifted me from CPU to RF, and RF, I'm completely new to this entire domain. So my director, he was so impressed with my attitude, and that's why he picked, and he was like, okay, we want this candidate, go ahead. And afterwards, it took me 4 to 6 months to make him realize to my manager that I'm not a burden to you, and I'm someone who is willing to learn from you. I respect you as a manager, and I'm doing all whatever it takes to get the job done. And after that point, after 6 months, he himself told me, he took me to conference room and he apologized, saying that, sorry, I couldn't give you much of a time. I had my own issues, and from that day onwards, now my entire team is kind of jealous, thinking that every single time when he gets a new task, he treats me like a newbie. He goes to a board, he explains all the things with the chart and diagrams, and this is how it works, this is how it works. And he has given me so much of exposure of the things which not even my other teammates not aware about. So these things do happen. So mindset matters. You have to give that extra effort to make them realize that you are someone worth putting that effort into. And also, you should produce some results. It's not just that industry is goal-oriented, right? Result-oriented. So unless you are producing some kind of result, no matter how hard work you put in, there is no point to it. Simple as that. So you have to be like that, no matter how long it takes. There are times when I end up in a company till 4 a.m., 3 a.m., many nights I have worked there, and yeah, they do see it, right? And this is how things are. So I know there are many IITians in my team and other teams in my floor, and now I'm somehow equivalent. They are treating me equivalent. There are some who are UG, like that question, right? UG and PG student. There is one, I'm not going to specify, but one IITian who is a UG, they took him on temporary basis, but he is not really up to the mark right now. They are giving him, there is negative feedback and all those things. The mindset and the fundamentals matters a lot. And that fundamentals, somehow maturity to have that fundamentals and go deeper into that concept, it grows only during masters. In UG level, we don't go deeper and try to understand why these things are happening, why this electron flow and why this size is lesser and smaller, how it affects, and the PVT and the temperature, all these constants, you don't think like that. So these things happen only in masters, and that is how it is beneficial in industry level. So these things happen. And yes, there are some IITians which are exceptionally good. My best friend or colleague, he is someone who worked as a scientist. He did 4 patents and 2 research papers in single year. And yes, you maybe not at this point of time, I'm not competing with him. I'm quite below. That is completely fine. I understand where I stand. But that does not stop me from going to that level, right? So every single day, you just have to keep on pushing yourself, and somehow you are making that difference and making them realize that, yes, you are not anything lesser than that.
Okay, so I think we are short of time, but we are joined by our joint director and another eminent personality. So maybe, sir, this is an interaction between the faculty and the PG alumni as well as the students. So maybe you can introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Niranjan. Maybe many of you have not seen me here. I used to work in electronics and communication department here. Then subsequently I moved to the biomedical engineering department. I see more of my students in this side than that side. PhD students and all that. But mainly I was probably some of you may have seen me as the professor and head of the biomedical engineering department. I continue to be an adjunct professor in ENC department of MIT Manipal. I'm Niranjan. Yeah. I have to introduce.
I would also like to point out that MTech first program which was started in electronics and communication department is MTech in Biomedical Engineering under Sir's leadership. He was faculty here in Electronics and Communication Department. And once it started, MTech program, I think after around 10 years, the biomedical department was formed. And then he was HOD in biomedical engineering department. New MTech program, that is digital electronics and advanced communication.
The interaction went on well, and we have got a lot of inputs from their side. And I think that in the course of that interaction, our PG students have also got some inputs. So would you like to? Yeah, yeah, and many of you know, sir, I think. Yeah, right. So I think if then there are no questions from the PG students, we can conclude. If I have not missed anything, I think I have covered most of the topics which we wanted to cover. So thank you for this interaction, for being open and passing on your inputs to us, which definitely will help us. And as we said earlier, we will be approaching you for whether it is for the curriculum revision or for the internship opportunities as and when required. So yeah, so any of such things we will be approaching you. We have your email IDs, and please do help us out in that way. So that's where we can carry this forward. So the interaction that we had here, we can carry it forward. And I think lunch is arranged now. At Annapurna Mess, lunch is arranged. So after lunch, there is a program in the afternoon. So please, please have your lunch and join us at 2 o'clock, MV Seminar Hall. MV Seminar Hall. Yeah, so I think you will take it over now. Pramod and Vijay will take it over now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I could see few alumni who joined late. I request them to register yourself. Maybe around 10 alumni I could see. So please register so that we have your records. And 2 buses are arranged near the bridge of AB5. I request all of you to join for lunch. Lunch will be served in Annapurna Mess. And after that, again, the same buses will get you back to MV Seminar Hall, where we will be having the formal function sharp at 2 o'clock. Please note it is sharp at 2 o'clock because director is very busy and he will be available only between 2 to 2:30. Okay, so we have to relieve him by around 2:20. So I request all of you to come and be a part, and including staff and faculty. I request all faculty as well as staff to join us for lunch. 2 buses are arranged. I think 2 buses is enough for all of us. Also, I request research scholars to join and volunteers, PG students to join for lunch. Thank you.